Resume! Haha! Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Massy. Nick is not feeling super well tonight, so instead of the scheduled Zelda stream, we are streaming Obduction.
You know, this is me just not wanting to play Zelda, right?
I mean, that's fair.
At least not tonight. My head is like feeling like somebody bounced off concrete.
Obduction.
Did you change your stream title?
I did change my stream title.
Good man.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah. Most of the time you forget.
Most of the time I do forget. So here we are in Obduction Land. Now, last time, if you forget, we unsealed the borders of this world. So now we can actually, like, do stuff. And I don't really know where to go from here. So let's just wander around a bit. Okay, so here we are. And we can't go that way. Okay. Let's return. I like the aesthetic of this world. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but supposedly this world was like colonized by two different alien species in addition to the native species that it has. Oh, hey, there's a walkway up here. We can go up and potentially mess with things? Yes, please. No. No, there's literally nothing to mess with. Okay. Sad noises. If we go over here, there is this little car thing. No way to propel it forward, though. I feel like that's what we need to do, is get this car out of the way. Like, I would think that there'd be like a lever or something up here. But there is not. Okay. Well, our options for places we can explore are rapidly diminishing. Let's head over here. Very large gear there. So the tree is right there. That's ultimately our goal, is to reach the tree. Don't seem to be able to get over that junk. So we're left with two options. Either return the way we came, which is up these stairs, or take this passage. Actually, this might be the way we came. I'm not clear either way. Actually, I think this is. Let's go the other way. The way we haven't been, I think. Up some stairs. Past some chains. Man, like, just imagine if you had, like, rope. You could fucking bust this game wide open, like a grappling hook. That would... You would have broken the quest chain so hard. Okay, so this right here... It appears to be a big machine. Yes, very useful description. Thank you, me. This particular machine appears to be designed to do something unspecific. Okay. This right here is the infamous Russian machine puzzle. I don't want to mess with it too much. As far as I know, all of the controls on this are just for players to dick around with and waste their time. It doesn't actually do anything as far as I am aware. Oh, hey there, bug. Supposedly, there is a combination that you can input into that will make it do something, but I don't know it off the top of my head. You know, let's stick around here for a second. Like, really what we want to do is we want this stairwell lowered down, which these blocks are kind of in the way. Let's see if we can do something down here. Okay. Okay, obviously something needs to catch there. Okay, gears are engaged. Oh, hey. We turned on the spinner majigger. Now, let's try this. Ah! There we go. So now, all the machinery in this area should be working. That's good. Can I do anything with you? Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Alright, pressing any direction. Ah, okay. So what we want to do is engage all these little piston jiggers. And of course they would have a setting for unengaging them, because you would want that. You would want a setting that, you know, renders all of your machinery inert and useless. That's just good engineering. Like, and it would have to be elaborate too. You don't want just like a little button toggle that like turns things off. All right. Let's head down here. Now that we've engaged things. Cool, a jungle world. Aha. Do you guys not know about, like, handrails? Well, I mean, obviously you know about handrails, but, like, I mean, you know, safety rails? Like, these doors are wide open. Like, I could literally fall to my death here. Okay. Well, another one of these things. I don't know where that goes yet. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Oh, this is the beginning of the stage. Okay. This is the beginning of the stage. Alright, so let's go ahead. Swing this back over here. Alrighty, now here we should warp to the other side. Which is apparently a fairly small little island. Guess we'll go this way. Oh, okay, this is on the other side of that thingamawhat's-it. And now we've moved that, so now we have access. Okay, I get it now. So now we just run down here. And now we can go down here. Loop around, and since we cleared that big machine, we go right up here. Cool. Perfect. So now we're on the other side of all that debris and stuff. That definitely looks like something down there. Speaking of things that look like things, this looks like a thing. This temple area, I mean, not the spot that I'm going to, I'm just exploring. But this whole temple complex sure does look like it's something important. Can't get through that way. Well, there's the tree's vagina. Yeah, seriously, like, if this was Dark Souls, I would have, like, messages trolling me all over the place. By the way, welcome to the show, Luna. Glad you could make it. Let's see. Big temple thing. I feel like this has got to lead somewhere, but I actually do not know where any of this leads to. All that. Maybe I haven't checked the center. I'm pretty good at getting disoriented in here, so maybe... No, that's caved in. Ah, okay. Over here I can go. So... That's interesting. So it looks like this was another place where another world popped in. Oh, that's cool. Giant dinosaur skeletons or something. A lot of no-can-go areas. Man, adventure game heroes are, like, just pussies when it comes to, like, climbing stuff. Like, you can only climb over rocks if there's, like, actually a stairway or something. Otherwise, nope. You ain't going nowhere, buddy. Weird effect every time. But this puts us somewhere new. Not 100% sure, honestly. Okay, well that's a little warp zone there. We'll come back to that in a second. By the way, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I'm not following a guide or anything of that nature. Oh, and there's another one here. Well, all right. Let's go to this one first because we saw it first. Oh, look. Birdies. This is Obduction, Ephorus. I streamed it once before, but it was a long time ago. And
yeah, it's why he doesn't play it too much, because this game is...
weird.
It's a puzzle game that doesn't tell you anything. The logic is sometimes escapes you and you're just like muddling your way through till you figure it out.
Like how I'm muddling my way through till I figure it out right now.
Bingo!
I think I went the wrong way and ended up accidentally in a new location. It's actually made by the same people who made Myst, Ephorus, so yes. This is Cyan Worlds. Okay, that will presumably take me back somewhere, and that's not a thing, so... Alright. Let's go back real quick. I think I should have gone down these steps instead of up. Oh, when you get away from that, that whole section there has a big circular thing like it's been displaced. But it looks like it belongs there, so... Ugh. Weird, trippy. Alright, let's see what we can do through this. Okay. What, Ah, okay. I figured it out. Accidentally, but I did. And there's literally nowhere else we can go. But this opens up that world. I don't know if you remember, but that door was blocking us from progressing in that world. And here we are. Back in Colorado, or wherever this is. This game does have a very cool aesthetic, I will give it that. Although I will also say, for a new, quote-unquote, new IP, this is extremely similar to their old IP, Myst. And considering that the last game that Cyan Worlds released was just a remake of Myst, I'm going to assume that Obduction didn't do super well for them. I don't have any actual proof of that. I'm just speculating. Okay. Where are we? I feel like I should know where this is. Okay. Can I... I can't wind you up? Is that grr? That's totally grr.
It just looks like a generic piece of crap. When did this come out?
Not sure actually. Samurai Weasel? Sure. Oh lord. Oh book. The Vilian, I can't find the words. It's such a foreign life cycle. Or perhaps not. They launch themselves across the expanses of space, preserved for eons until at last their technological arcs can home in and carry them to a new home. They have no connection with their predecessors, but in spite of this, perhaps because of this, they have amazing recollections of their history. Their stories are epic, reaching back through the eons. Unlike many of us who were abducted, they were abducted as a whole. Their scoop moved an entire facility that was about to be annihilated. I've come to believe that they, perhaps more than any of us, have a deeper understanding of whatever this strange system is that we find ourselves in. I need to write this down. We buried Ji-un today. This place never really agreed with her. Kept to herself mostly, depressed and downcast. Anyway, I digress. I stayed after the brief words were spoken. I was the last to leave. I wandered to the dome, as I often do, and looked out at the undulating saurian weirdness beyond the cell wall. Movement caught my eye. Now on very rare occasions we've seen Mofang scrambling about in the distance, but there have been fewer and fewer sightings over the years. But before me was a tall, haggard Mofang running desperately, almost directly towards me from one of the distant structures. It, I still can't tell the gender, got closer and closer. I thought it would see me and stop, or turn around, or be curious about this strange dome and our world inside it. But it continued running quickly, almost directly to my position. I was frozen in place with curiosity until my reflexes took over at the last moment and I leapt out of the way. But rather than hit the dome and fall backwards, or come through into Hunrath, the dome flashed its familiar tome and the Mofang vanished. I was stunned for a bit, but I retrieved my wits and stepped into the dome myself to quickly get to the other side. After running through, I immediately turned around and saw the Mofang outside on the other side of the dome, still running away from whatever it feared, but as if it had no sense of passing around the dome. As surprising as the event was, it did serve to settle a few things in my mind. I always wondered how no one on Earth had noticed what replaced this chunk of Arizona we have here. I've got to vent. Again, there are those who argue with me. Over and over, I demonstrate that in almost every case, whatever the process was that brought us here, it occurred at a pivotal moment. They tell their stories, and they still can't admit that the abduction actually saved each of us, all of us. What is it in human nature that grasps so strongly to the past that we blame our saviors for stealing it from us? Okay, just one more vent before bed. If each of us was individually saved from something, then maybe all of us were corporally, what a weird fucking word to use there, saved from something larger. Can we really be sure what's left? And the arrivers come from various places and times. Sarah got here almost 15 years ago from the year 2055, and Vizel got here 2.5 years ago from 1942. What does that mean? Time here is shuffled and chaotic compared to Earth. What state is Earth in right now? When is Earth right now? It's 3:15 a.m. and I feel compelled to journal this craziness. After spending most of yesterday meditating with the RI, and then most of this evening discussing the nature of these worlds with CW, I had just a sip of infamous Hunrath hooch and collapsed in my chair. Well, I just awoke from a dream. I'm not one who puts a lot of credibility in dreams. You sound like somebody who puts a ton of credibility in their dreams. But maybe the Arai were able to move something in me to understand. Or possibly because of the intense discussion, my subconscious mind was triggered to be able to sort out some logical connections, or maybe it was the hooch, the dream. I was tending a garden, an immense garden, and it wasn't for food or flowers, it was just about the health of the garden. I kept working and working to control it and contain it and make it healthier, but the garden seemed to fight me at every turn, and after what seemed like days of work, I finally gave up in frustration, and as I stood there doing nothing, the garden flourished before my eyes, growing and spreading in every direction. Because, I realized, the system that the plants were based on was not about me shaping and controlling. The natural system of plants is healthier when they are out of control, when they are free to spread and intermingle and cross-pollinate and mutate. That's not true. Actually, plants will try to edge out every other plant in the area, and it's only through convergent evolution and stuff that they're able to exist in a balance. Now, from a human point of view, that may not provide what I want, or need, or be very nurturing to you. I get smaller fruit and smaller flowers and untidiness and vermin and disease. But from the point of view of the plants, they grow stronger and much more resilient and resistant. The more they are scattered, the higher their odds of surviving. And now that I contemplate, I realize that even the individual plants/seeds may not appreciate the benefit of what's happening. They are torn far from their origins, forced into situations that seem extreme, possibly even destroyed by these new environments. But for the seeds that survive, the seeds that survive, now that's where real growth, strength, and abundance comes from. It's so beautiful and terrifying. Beyond the beauty of it all is a system and structure that defies understanding. Okay, what if this is all a natural process? There are signs of something behind it all, but well-hidden signs. So, if I look at all of this, the cell, the tree, the water, the seeds, the hub, the health, even the abductions, there seems to be a grand system or plan. The plan doesn't take me into account. It is unemotionally intent on the health of something much bigger. That may hurt my feelings, but, what am I in the entire scheme of the universe? I have no idea what, if anything, might have put this process into motion, but that is irrelevant. Tomorrow, I will talk with CW. He could be swayed from his battery plan. I would like to point out that, a system that is intent on saving Earth life, but at the expense of human life, is one that we should inherently be opposed to, because we're human. I really don't journal much. You journal entirely too much. I came to write this down because I am distraught. As I contemplate the plan that I have set in motion, I realize that I have become the destroyer of worlds. I sat down to write, to seek some cathartic tranquilization. Oh my god, you guys, people do not write like this. People don't say cathartic transmutation or whatever. Fucking, Cyan, write like people do.
Not like a Twitter bot.
Yeah.
Like people do. Don't write like Elon Musk. I mean a Twitter bot.
To seek some cathartic tranquilization. And I realized that the last thing I journaled was some esoterically beautiful philosophy about letting this garden grow. Not so reaffirming or calming.
Jesus fucking Christ, this person is a wordy idiot.
Yeah, no kidding. This, by the way, spoilers, is, Sarah, I think is her name. She was the woman whose recording we saw at the house, who was, supposed to greet us. But, nevertheless, here's my reasoning, because I must write this down. Simply,
of course you do.
It's us or them. Complexity. If this is some kind of garden, and we're the plants, or seeds, or whatever, some of us have gotten together and decided that we're the better choice to survive, if the others have unilaterally decided that we all won't survive. I am more fit, damn it. This is not me. I want to be calm and garden or ungarden or grow or... What gives one species the right to destroy another species? Who gets to choose? Do I just lay down and die because the more aggressive species thinks they're better, more powerful? What brutal scale do I use to measure the good of some against the life of others? Does love ever destroy in order to help more survive, to help love itself to survive? Does that even make sense? No, not really. Can I kill because I think it will bring about more love? What if I'm not even capable of understanding the situation of hate versus love? Maybe I am the hater. Do I generate this love delusion to help me maintain my sanity in light of the choice I have made? My God, it's too much. If these are just my walls of delusion, then I choose to live within them. I am a seed scattered by the wind, But I will not simply be trampled. I will kick and scream and survive. May God have mercy on my soul. Okay, yeah, thank you. Oh, JM. And a male and a female. So, I don't know what that means, if anything. CJ. Okay. And a fluffy bunny. Great. Puppet show booth for reasons. Adventures in the Age of Mist and Beyond. No.
Oh, itches leg. Itches leg.
A couple of blank books, paintings of a bug, the Ark of the Covenant. Sure. Don't appear to be able to do anything with it, probably for the best. A painting of some anime peoples. And these things. And what's this do? Arai Larval Notes by CF. Takes about 3 to 5 days for a single Arai larvae to change colors after being moved to a new surface. Pulsing stops immediately upon removal from Captor, induced by polyarchs. Cloning has been extremely easy, like potatoes easy. Organics, plant fiber, yellow. Bone, light yellow. Arai encrustment, green. Metals, gold, pink. Copper, red, orange. Titanium, orange. Silver, red. Aluminum, red, orange. Okay, all these different colors. To do. I'm curious about the effect of combining various base surface. Still a bit odd experimenting with the life forms. The light they emit is handy given our limited supply of diesel fuel. Okay. This is all very potentially useful, but probably not. Let's get out of here. Oh yeah, yeah. See, this is her house. Farley's, yeah. Cyan is very, very proud of that mechanic. I want to do something, actually, real quick. That I had forgotten to do. That I will eventually need to do anyway. And as long as I'm here, I might as well go do it. It's just on the other side of the frickin' world. Oh, trot, 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 trot. Okay. Now, that doesn't make any goddamn sense, by the way. But fine. Let it be. somewhere over here on the far side, there was a warp point that could get us up there. And it involves a puzzle that we need to solve for later. Because everything is puzzles. Don't you love puzzles? Puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. Baroom. Alright, so where was it exactly? I think... Is it? No. Not over here. Not over there. It was somewhere up. Like up there. So how do I get to that? Let me think. Let's go to the tree chamber. I think we can get up there from there. Vroom. Okay, here. Trot, 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 trot. Yeah, I believe it's right here. And it is. Okay, so we couldn't get out onto this before. Now we can. And that gives us access to this directly from the other side. And... Trot, trot, trot. Over here, we have a 6-digit code. Six digits. So, where do we find a 6-digit code? Well, going to run back here. Yes, yes, we'll get to you, big sphere. Okay. In this guy's office, we have this compass. And it says Montana. Now, what state that says is different every time. It's randomized from a set pool. In here, you have license plates from several states. Right here is Montana. 15J520. So what is J? Let me think here for a second. Mouse, stop fighting me. A, B, C, D. I'm already forgetting what the rest of the code is, trying to figure this out. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. That should be 10, I think.
Yes.
So that's the 10th letter of the alphabet.
Yes.
But we have a problem in that our code will only accept single digits. It won't accept 10. And if we put in 10, that's going to put us over the 6-digit count. I don't remember exactly how to solve this one, but my guess is that what you have to do is take the individual digits of the letter, i.e. 1 and 0, and add them together to get 1. So I'm going to try 151 whatever. I've got it on my phone. And if correct, that should give us access to another area, which we won't need immediately, but we will need soonish. And I mean, if worst case comes to worst, we've got 5 out of the 6 digits. There's only 10 possible combinations. Okay, so now this is mounted backwards, so one or maybe it's forwards. I don't know. I haven't used a rotary dial since I was a kid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. The code we want is 1, 5, 1, 5, 2, and then 0 should be the last one. Okay, that did not work. Let's try 1, 5, 0, 5, 2, 0. No. Well, now.
That didn't work?
It did not work. Hold on one second. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, you know what it is? It's it uses the letter positioning on the dial as if it were uh like a letter. So it's 1, 5, 5, and then 550 520.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, you know, A is, or 1 is ABC, 2 is DEF, etc., etc.
Yeah, I get that. Then why would it start with a 1 if the first letter is J?
Because it was 15J 520.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So now we have access to this elevator.
I missed that part. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We are nowhere near ready to start messing with this up here. Like, all of this needs to be like more fixed than it currently is. We actually have to complete multiple stages before that stuff's ready. But now that this elevator is working, we can actually get into the basement level. Are you there? Okay, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. That's why it's not working. We can get into the basement level of the mayor's office, which includes his shitter. Great. That's just what I always wanted, game. Thank you. You know, I've been spending so much time worrying about how do these characters shit. Okay, multi-purpose Villian control panel interface. This is the control panel that the Villian have supplied for our use. Although they are able to control their systems via vocalizations, they have provided these control panels for other species to have limited access and control. If you have trouble, please find Joa, Leah, I can't read that, for help. Remember, the Villian numbering system is base 4. Drag from one blob to another to form the Villian digits. Drag between blobs to disconnect. The standard panel has 5 digits, but single-digit panels are also used. Use only first digit to simulate a one-digit panel, 0 to 3. All panels will auto-correct for invalid entries. I'm going to take a quick picture of this for future reference. That machine in the garage is meant to teach you this stuff, but this is kind of a nice cheat sheet. So we will definitely need to refer to that. Okay, your musical taste sucks, dude. Okay. Now, we have actually opened the pathway to the tree itself. And we have access to the tree vagina. Just like we've always wanted. Okay. Can definitely see what's going on here. No need to explain, game. Okay. Sure. Now we can't go through any of these because we haven't connected these yet. We have to basically do this in every, for lack of a better term, age. So there we go. Tree is back up and running. And let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Okay. Let's go ahead and go back now. Okay. So that's just that. But it was important to do. Now, there was a machine up here that I think we can use to machine our way over to another machine land. Machine-like style. Go! This is the shittiest tram I've ever ridden on. Like, you don't even have benches for me to sit on. Okay. And there, our Russian machine is now inoperative and up there. Like, I'm serious. I think that almost everything on here is just a troll, and it doesn't actually do anything. Downward. Basically, yeah, these gears and stuff are basically alien fidget toys. Like, and seriously, like, how strong is the wind that it can move this thing? Like, that thing looks like it's made out of solid metal. It's got to weigh tons. Okay, this unfortunately is a puzzle I've been dreading, but it's time. You see, we have here a little wooden scaffolding thing. And this door, I thought you had to open it from this side. Maybe you have to open it from the other side. At any rate, it's the other side of the door that we were on, or that we found on the other side there. I mean, I know that's a great explanation. So the thing is, we've got stairs here, but we need stairs over here. And we know gots. This is gonna suck, guys. Back in Hunrath. And if you recognize what the area is, you'll realize that this is, in fact, the stone sphere that was there a second ago. Well, we need to have it 180 degrees in the opposite direction. So we got to hit this. All right, I think that's right. And if I remember correctly, this is not the only time we have to do this. Hopefully, I got this correct. The reason that this sucks is if you were off, for instance, like I am, no gusta. So now we got to go back. This is easily the most obnoxious puzzle in the game. We gotta go back, and it looks like we rotated too far, or maybe not far enough. I'm not super clear. I mean, we kind of went from there to there, but we need it like over there, so maybe one more. I've got a feeling that's too far, but we'll take, excuse me, we'll take a look. Oh, okay. I guess that was correct. Like, how much effort would it really have taken to just, like, throw up some planks of wood there or something? Is that the place where I was? That is totally the place where I was, isn't it? This is that temple area. You guys can't see the look of quiet, desperate rage that is currently on my face. So we need this arrangement, but with the rock. We need the rock here.
Everybody needs the rock here.
Not that rock. No.
I love you.
So I'm doing this because it's a shortcut to get back here. Although I may as well not have bothered, because the chances that it's correctly positioned are infinitesimal. I don't remember where the warp was. I think it was the one that was up here. So let's go ahead through the junkyard. There's the button for this thing. There's a... oh. Hi, Sterling. I mean, this is a right construction, at least, so I'm going to assume... So what we have to do now, we have to make sure that that rock is positioned so that we can go from one end of the rock to the other in a straight shot. Yes, I hear you, Sterling. I do. Oh, wasn't it supposed to go down? Maybe it is supposed to go up. I don't know. Up is down, down is up. Like, just imagine, like, sticking your hand in there and just fucking getting it, like, snapped right off by this machinery. Jesus Christ. No safety whatsoever. Person could kill
But
themselves.
they don't care. They're planning on genocide. You know what I was trying to say. They're sitting there talking survival of the fittest when they're the aliens here. Come the hell on.
I mean, that's the humans.
That's what I mean.
The humans didn't build this.
I know.
But there's reason for them talking about that, as we will see. Just gotta go back a million miles. Discover that it's not in the right place. Warp the structure back. Warp ourselves back, rotate it in the other world. Am I going the right way? Okay. I gotta go this way. Okay. The good news is there's no way to make this game unwinnable. The bad news is there is a way to make this game really, really annoying. Okay. Alright. We lucked out. This is in perfect position. I still can't get through this, though. We need to open that door. And I think you can only do that from the other side. So what do we do? I am not sure what to do at this point. Uh, Give me 1 second. I think this is time to consult with ye old walkthrough.
This game is a head scratcher.
Okay, let's see here. Alright, hold on one second. See something here. Okay, I am gonna have to turn one of those off. It looks like right over there is where we'll come out of, but okay. I think maybe I have not completed this to completion yet. And that may be why I'm stuck. Let's go back and examine it again. Bye, Bugaboo. Okay. So we can't actually go through that, but supposing that we turn the rock part around 180 degrees. That should theoretically still lead us to where we need to go. But I think there might be a secret passage according to the walkthrough. I will freely admit that I'm using a walkthrough for some of these puzzles. I think there's a secret passage down there. Unfortunately, to do this means I have to go back up to where we started. Literally on the other side of the world. Well, age. Why would you design a gate like this where it doesn't ever point to it doesn't ever have both ends pointing towards land. Like, no matter where you position it, one end is always hanging off into nowhere. Did I not? Come on. So, like, the thing we've got to do here, basically, is, like, we've got to synchronize all these trees. Okay, so now... This is going to be fun, guys. You're going to like this. Now... I've got to go back there and warp that back in, then run back. Yes, I know, Sterling. I agree that this puzzle is tedious.
I know, Sterling.
Okay. So we race up here. We warp this in. Because this way, now we can rotate the rock sphere. Okay. Yeah, because see, like right there, that's where we need to go. I was thinking I was seeing the other exit, but that's not there. That's over here. So actually, it doesn't even need to be... Whatever. Whatever. I'll figure it out. So now, run back all the way. No, there is no shortcut. Action! This is just... It just absolutely screams a puzzle that is designed from the beginning to be a puzzle, not like a piece of machinery that became a puzzle because you don't understand how to use it. This is just straight up...
It's straight up tedium, is what it is.
We built this to be a puzzle so that you would have to work to figure out what to do.
I hate that type of tedium.
No, not that way. Yeah. Go that way. Alright, so now we gotta rotate the rock sphere. just going to try 180, which should be 4. Of course, there's a separate button for recalling the elevator. No way that functionality could be programmed into, like, just a single button. Okay. Now, before I do anything, let's actually take a look. Okay. I'm under the impression that that scar right there is indicative of where that thingamawhatsit needs to be. So I'm going to keep rotating until the stairwell is over there. Alright, that's 4. That doesn't put the stairwell where I was thinking it needed to be. But if I keep rotating it, I don't know if I'll be able to use it again. Let me go back. Maybe I need to be doing this with the actual stairwell, too. I don't... I could try that. That would at least cut down on the tedium of running back and forth all the time. Why don't I try that? Right. I took that elevator down, never brought it back up. That was dumb of me. Forces me to go the long way every time. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I wish this was Schism.
Yeah, I can't believe you're saying that.
In Schism, at least, you control 2 characters. And you can coordinate. It's basically the only interesting thing about Schism, but... like, at least you can do that. Schism was released by a studio called The Adventure Company, who, they released Siberia, which is a really well-regarded game. They also released a whole shitload of crap. And they kept releasing it well after the point-and-click craze had died the fuck off. And for good reason. That it died off, I mean. Okay. What I'm going to try to do, instead of what I was doing, I'm going to try to rotate this, like, a little bit. Like 1 or maybe 2 over. Ugh. My brain already feels like mush. All this jumping in and out of worlds. And thank you, Cyan, for your obsession with world hopping to solve puzzles. Never gets old at all. Alright. I think it rotates in the wrong direction, but I'm going to confirm. Okay. It does indeed. No, it's closer? Closer to the right direction? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's closer. One more. In and out, and in and out, and keep rotating the giant sphere for no particular reason.
Massy's losing his dingle-dangle brains.
I am. We are making progress, believe it or not, but, like, you know.
This game is that, though. It's tedium. I think part of it isn't so much that you're solving a puzzle as you are exploring everything this has to offer. And they're going to make you explore everything this has to offer.
So this is like the sentient brain pod things that like control all the bug swarm. this way. Oh. Hello, dead guy. Oh, I get it. This is a booby trap. See the red mark on the scale? When you step on it, if it exceeds that red mark, i.e. like 150 pounds, I'm assuming. I don't think these things weigh 150 kilos. Or I don't think I weigh 150 kilos. It triggers the swap mechanism, and then this guy got caught in it partway through the swap, and he died. What's this? That is a long string of numbers. I do not like long strings of numbers. I don't think this is... I think this has something to do with the Russian machine. But... Please read thoroughly. We must have every detail in place. Our lives and our species depend on this being executed perfectly. The locations and times in this document are based on the information leaked by Ruko and Shavar. Our lives depend on the accuracy of the information we receive from them. Remainers, CW, Earth. Trar, Aprar, Orbar, Mare. Arai, 1 Polyarch, Kaptar. Begin chambering. Farley verifies manifest. All souls chambered. Blah, blah, blah. Remainers in place with hands-on swap trigger. Okay. Trigger locations as prescribed. All locations should have small error allowance. Murray has largest margin of error potential. Be alert. Trigger task. Trigger reswap immediately after swap. Any delay increases the risk of detonation in a home sphere and the risk of a remainder being disabled in Morang. Communication. Farley, I'll ensure that all remainers, or in the case of Kaptar, the remaining polyarch, receive and understand this document. Okay, so this was a coordinated attack. Which they executed intentionally. Like, apparently that they sent a bomb. Or perhaps more accurately, a bomb was sent and then they immediately sent it back. Something like that. Yep, and here I told you I was going to have to disable one of those things. And I didn't, and because I didn't, guess what? We got a warp back. Yep, we got a warp, because there's no other way we can go. At least now, though, I know that this is done, and we just gotta, like, come back in here and... We just gotta disable the right machine. Okay. Run, 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 run. Ooh, ah. I think I can safely shut down all of the machines. I don't think I need any of them running at this point. I'm still appalled at the complexity of this bridge that exists only for complexity's sake. And upstairs to where the machines are. Run, 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 run! Like I said, I believe at this point we don't need any of these machines running. Ooh, wrong way. Come on. Hey. That one re-engaged, but let's just see if that's the right one. Because it looks like it should be, based on its position and like where the gear shaft is going. Maybe not. This thing is still moving. Yep, that's still moving. Okay. So, climbing again. Can't scale a 2-foot rock, but can scale 1,000 steps at a full sprint 10 times in a row. Oh. Maybe it's this one. I feel good about it being one of those lower two. Oh yeah, that did it. Everything's quiet down here, so that dude it. Now we can go warp back. Hopefully for the last time. Okay, so I just did the wrong direction because I'm an idiot. Let's do the right direction. And one more. There. Let me off. Okay, you bastards. Okay. Have I mentioned that I hate this rock sphere? Because I do. I mean, I know it's an inanimate object and it's not actually the cause of my woes, but I hate it with a passion. With the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns. What the hell is this? Never noticed that before. No idea what that device could be. Maybe a little shop vac? It doesn't look like much of anything. It looks like some kind of 1950s machine that doesn't actually serve any specific purpose. It's just, you know, a 1950s style machine. Okay. Hey guys, it's me again. Yes, I do feel like an idiot. Thank you. Thank you for laughing at me. So now that this is off, we can go through it. And that gives us access to the Tree Vagania. And all the blue water goes into the thing. So these other portals here, obviously we can't go through because we haven't completed those stages yet. But we did actually complete our connection in Hunrath. So we can actually just walk right through to Hunrath because those trees are now connected and charged. It's some kind of walkie-talkie, I guess. Anyway. That's 2 worlds down. 2 to go. Or 3 to go, or... Hell, I don't fucking know anymore. We want to go over here, I think. And we should now be able to actually make progress on this world. Okay. So we come down here. And this was stopping us before.
Don't panic. This is the best way to keep everyone safe. Just stay on this path and cross the first bridge. Then keep going until you get to that sign-in area. You'll get more information after you sign in. Don't panic. This is the best way to keep
Okay, so you are here. Bridge, sign-in area. Got it. Your bridge is somewhat lacking in bridginess. Well, what else do we got over here? Oh, God. Another warping Madoo. Okay. Well, I guess we gotta. This is a somewhat familiar area. Wait, really? We just warped in 10 feet away? Oh my God, I get it. Because there was a stone arch there. We're getting close to the end of the stream, guys, but I feel like we need to make a bit more progress in this age before we are done for the night. So, let's see. Now, yeah, see? A rock bridge that wasn't here before. Now we can get over to this side. And look at the water lilies and the really gross water. Jesus, guys. Okay. Various directions that we could go. One of them leads to a spaceship. Obviously, I'm going to take that direction. Uh, okay. What am I trying to do here? Am I trying to blow this red thing up? Probably. There. Unlock the sky.
This be unexpected. Good. But happy. Good. Very good time to come here now. I am not know who you are, but I could use help. Watch. I am trapped. Not can move. These beasts, called villains, they are much danger. Just look around. They live below water. And they are storing us for food. You will see as you go. Come. I cannot be here. Find a way to me. And I can figure this out.
Okay. Your extremely broken English, even for a person who does not speak native, who is not a native English speaker, has totally convinced me that you are definitely not one of the alien doppelgangers that we heard about. I mean, how could you be? That would be just silly. Okay. Okay. Feel like I'm in Star Wars now. With the goofy alien walkways. Okay, there's a number code for the bridges.
Why? Are you waiting for some purpose? I prefer you hurry.
Okay. Oh. Okay. That accidentally did something. No, no, no. Stop. Stupid, unintuitive alien control panel. Alright, so that gets me 1. What if I do the same thing over here? Same thing, I got 1. Okay, but I need more than 1. Apparently. What if I do this? Is that a thing? Okay. That gets me that and that. Okay, getting closer. So very close. Alright, what if... Ha 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 ha! I made it work. I totally figured that out by
Futzing around with it.
calculating. I carefully learned the aliens, like, numbering system, studied it for many years.
You looked it up, didn't you?
No, I just randomly
Guess.
fiddled with stuff until I found something that actually did something.
Yeah, that's kind of this game. Fiddle around with it till it works right.
Yeah, basically. Ha 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 ha. Your stupid disappearing block puzzles will not ensnare me, robot mans. Where the hell am I? What the hell am I doing? I do not even know. Damn, their water is scummy looking, isn't it? Ah, okay. Now I know where I'm at. Hey, what if I went this way? Is there like just an alternate path to the same place? Okay. Trot, 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 trot. They've got lots of these things, whatever they are. Probably guns. Oh my god. Is this a double teleporter puzzle? Yup, this is totally a double teleporter puzzle. Come on! Okay. So that makes the whole sphere appear in the trash pile. What if I take just part of this back with me? Okay. Oh, it's an elevator. Of course. I knew it was an elevator all the time. Yeah, meow. That's right. Okay. So this does not go anywhere. Okay. Sure. Fine. Great. This, on the other hand, goes up here. What the heck is this? Oh, good lord.
Is it that bad?
It's a teleporter puzzle that has 3 teleporters.
Oh, of course it does.
Okay. So let's take this one. Let's see where we end up. Okay, we're in a cave. Okay, this does not seem great, but I think I get what's going on here. So, actually, before I use that, is there any? No, it's just a dead space. Okay. Using this one first for no particular reason. What I think is happening is I think the activation thing for those bridges is yeah, look at that. Look at that. The activation thing for this bridge is right here. So to get to over there, we would need to take this back and do that. But what we're going to do is actually a fairly easy pattern to memorize, because it's basically just a bunch of zigzags. Okay, and this is where that thing was that was locking down the edges. But now, if I cycle this, boobly, 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 boobly. Here we are. And hey, look at this. Now we have a control panel. Put in the same code. Come on. Put in the same. Put in the same code. It's probably actually easier to do in VR, which I believe Obduction does support VR. A note. Alright, hello Oleg. The gauntlet area is complex. It was meant to be. The Villian intended it to provide friction. The idea is to slow down any mass movement within the world now that we have begun to have suspicions. You notice that they have reformed and extruded entire areas to confuse and slow down any mass attack. Your task will be to reset all the locks in the gauntlet before being potted. Farley, please keep this to yourself. I used a shade of blue ink that is not easily visible to the Mofang. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. So now what we're going to do this gauntlet area doesn't seem too bad, actually. I think I get the logic of it. But props to you, game developers, for using the... Yes, it's annoying, but it was intentionally designed to be annoying. Therefore, it's gameplay as your excuse.
Are you being facetious?
I am being facetious. We intentionally designed this to be as annoying as possible. Is probably the worst possible reason to fucking design something the way that they designed it. Okay. Now zap me home, Daddy. Come on. Okay. Now I fucked it up. Yes, Sterling, I know. We're almost done. You don't have to keep yelling at us. Okay. So now... Okay. Yes, I hear you, Sterling. There. We're spinning and it's going crazy and stuff. Okay. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. This should be the other one, though. Like, this... This should be the one that has the control thing. Ah. Okay. I am already a frustrate. I thought I had this down. Alright, there's no... Like, one of these two should have the control thingy that I need to actually make the bridge appear. Why do neither of them have that? Is it me? Am I dumb? Alright. I'm just going to keep alternating one side then the other. Because there's no point in swapping the middle one. Right. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just fucking realized what I'm doing wrong. Okay. So, watch me now do this correctly. Alright, we got the control panel with us. we go back to the alien world. We remember that this stupid thing rotates the machine. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. We need to have the other thing here because this one's too big. If I sound like I'm slowly losing my sanity, it's because that is exactly what is happening. Oh, this game. It's gonna make my brains come out of my ears. Alright. Now we need this one that has the control panel to be in the correct place. Which is to say, the other place. Okay. By the way, you could totally jump that. Like, I could fucking jump that. I'm by no means an athlete, but I could totally jump that. Game. Now that this control panel is facing the other way, there. That lets us cross over to here. But then we'll have to do more juggling. But first, I want to see what's on the other side in the other world. So let's go back to this thing. And hit the button. Alright. Now you couldn't have used a simpler passcode. I hate their numbering system, by the way, because it doesn't really, like, follow any logical progression. Okay. This leads to this area, which is probably a swap point. And this leads to a door we cannot open because it is locked on the other side. Fine. My urge to end the stream is battling with my urge to beat this stage out of spite at this point, so what the hell? Let's do this one more time. Oh, believe me, there's a lot more puzzles to this stage. Like, we are only, like, at the very beginning of this jungle world stage, which I think is Murray. They've referenced it a couple of times. Okay. And yes, that was indeed a swap point. So we needed to establish this bridge, otherwise we wouldn't get over here. And... like... I might as well use this one. Doesn't really matter, I can use any of the three to get in here. Oh. Do we have an even smaller one over there that we have to flip between?
You know you do.
I want to hurt this game, but I can never hurt it the way it hurt me. Let's take another look. Just the one sphere. Which warping that back will do us no good. Okay, so let me guess. I think I get where we have to go with this. We warp back to Junglesvania. We run over here, pass through the obnoxious stone arch. We use this larger warp. Come up the other side. Go back. Ooh, look at this. Very nice. Go back over here. And it doesn't actually matter which one of these we use, but I'm using this one for consistency's sake. And when we arrive, we find a different swap portal thing. So we warp back. I may die. This may literally kill me. Literally and figuratively, and also probably in a couple of other, like, literary ways. Da, 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 da. Okay. Now, look at that. We have a clean passage through the rock, which shouldn't even be there. And this here appears to be another elevator. Can I go down? Yes. Oh God. Oh my God. I can see where this is going already. Okay. What we have here is a maze made up of segments that can be warped in and out. And we're going to have to figure out how we want to move them and what to do once we do move them.
How about next time?
That is definitely a next time thing.
Is your brain broken?
I can't. I won't.
Your brain's broken.
This is literally going to kill me if I attempt it tonight. So, thank you guys for tuning in, if indeed you actually did. I'm going to quit this game now. We will come back to Obduction when it stops being an abusive spouse. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, let's quit.